you're thrown off the show, you drop out of school, your mom kicks you out, and then you're living behind a dumpster.
Luckily for Zendaya, her career went in the exact opposite direction. You know you've made it big when everyone across the globe knows who you are by just your first name. Drake, Adele, Madonna, and now Zendaya. Since her days as a Disney star, she's become a huge influence on Gen Z and is one of the hottest names in Hollywood. But it wasn't without huge transformations that Zendaya was able to take over the acting, music, and fashion industry. So how exactly did she make it to the top? We're taking you right back to this celeb's beginnings, and we promise, after this, you'll never be able to look at Zendaya the same again.
I want to do what makes me happy for as long as it makes me happy.
Believe it or not, Zendaya came from a pretty ordinary family. Her parents were teachers who did their best when it came to helping their extremely shy daughter achieve her Hollywood dreams. So how exactly did young Zendaya transform herself from a timid little girl who had to repeat kindergarten to the Disney star we were all first introduced to? Well, being teachers, her parents thought introducing her to the arts and auditions at a young age would help her get over her social troubles. And it obviously worked, because at just 12 years old, she landed herself a role in a Selena Gomez music video, and a short while after, landed the role of Rocky in Disney's hit show Shake It Up. We watched her transform right before our eyes during her time on the Disney Channel, not only as an actor and dancer, but as a singer, author, and overall style icon. She's talked about how coming into Hollywood with her dad, they both knew nothing about makeup or clothing, or the overall fashion industry. But after making the right connections, we watched her emerge as Zendaya Coleman, Disney's newest sweetheart, to, watch out, here comes Queen Zendaya in a matter of a few years.
Things happened a lot faster for me because I had my goal, I was ready to go, and I was a new face.
Her new spotlight also gave her the opportunity to start a music career. With her new look in Clutch, she released her first self-titled album in 2013 with Hollywood Records. Remember her banger Replay? She was still just a teen when it was released. But despite the newfound fame, Zendaya made sure she stayed true to her heart, projecting kindness and helping her fans on their journey through life. When she released her book, Between You and Me, she said she wrote the book in order to help girls through the tougher parts of the tween years and help them appreciate the fun parts. This is no doubt when her influence on Gen Z began to really grow. She became a best friend to millions around the world.
Right now, I need for you young people, I need you guys to be educated.
We now know, though, that Zendaya's first few years on the Disney Channel were anything but magical. Her co-star Bella Thorne has spoken about how they were put in an unfortunate position when they felt they were competing against one another. You have to admit, though, for frenemies, see what we did there? They did pull off the best friend vibes on screen perfectly despite the tension, so kudos to them. But Zendaya knew that if she was going to stay on the Disney Channel, things had to change. So, she took charge. Accepting the lead role on Casey Undercover came with a lot of conditions for Disney. Zendaya would be one of the producers, and she knew it was time to add a fight for diversity to her platform. It was important to her that Disney become more diverse, especially being a person of color herself. She told Insider that it's hard to watch a series as a child and not see anyone who looks like you. Her advocacy for equality even impacted the fashion industry in a huge way. When she attended the 2015 Oscars, she made a point to style her hair in dreadlocks in order to remind people of color that our hair is good enough. She faced some pretty hard criticism, but took it in stride and educated her fans like the queen she is. And just like that, her bold statement at the Oscars sparked an entire movement that even had the company Mattel designing Barbies after her red carpet look.
I wanted this to be a positive experience, people to learn from it, people to grow from it.
Leaving the Disney Channel always comes with a stigma attached to it. Will she go rogue? Will she ruin her image? Is she the next Lindsay Lohan? And the pressure doesn't just disappear overnight. In fact, the proof is there just by taking a look at how differently the media treats Zendaya and Bella Thorne. But after leaving the Disney Channel, Zendaya made sure she stayed grounded and continued to fight for the career she wanted without letting go of her beliefs. In 2016, she released her very own fashion line, Daya by Zendaya, that truly stood for everything she believed. Once again, she took her fight for diversity and let it influence her image in the fashion world. Not only was the line extremely affordable, but also every product was unisex and offered in size 0 to 22. I mean, what? We're only really now starting to hear about more inclusivity in the fashion world. Zendaya was years ahead, and it definitely gave her a foot in the door when it came to her career in fashion and beauty.
Confidence is the best. I think you can literally rock a trash bag if you have confidence.
During her time on Casey Undercover and beyond, she did return back to her musical roots, releasing more albums and starring in music videos with celebs like Taylor Swift and Beyoncé. But after starting to land huge blockbuster roles, she decided to take a step back from the music industry. She also admitted that the music industry just wasn't her vibe anymore, and it made her lose a bit of passion. But that loss of passion didn't stop her from her next glow-up, both physically and career-wise.
I'm not pretending to be something that I am not.
Landing her role in the Spider-Man films might have been a huge step out of her comfort zone, but transforming into the character of MJ apparently wasn't all that difficult. She had been a huge fan of the previous Spider-Man franchise, and she was excited to get to represent the beautiful diversity in the real world through MJ. With the rise of social media, she also made sure that her accounts were filled with educational posts and even jokingly called herself an African-American history professor. It's not all about the selfies for Zendaya, although we don't mind those either.
And you do not let people tell you what you think you should feel.
Soon after her rendezvous with Tom Holland, she was cast in The Greatest Showman, along with huge actors like Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron. Now this role, a little more difficult to step into compared to Spider-Man. If you've watched the award-winning musical, you know that Zendaya spends a lot of time, well, swinging from things. According to Insider, she actually had to train to perform the stunts herself, add a partner in the mix, Zac Efron, and like he said, it didn't matter if we got it perfect. A lot of people had to get it perfect. She had to prep for stunt work, acting, dancing, and singing. I think it's safe to say she was successful.
Hugh Jackman walked by and he goes, "Zendaya, you're a badass."
Next up, the face of CoverGirl. This career move didn't take much prep from this A-lister, especially because CoverGirl is basically on the same level as her when it comes to promoting inner beauty and diversity. She even made an entire Instagram post about it. She actually is stunning inside and out. While starring in Spider-Man: Homecoming, its sequel, and The Greatest Showman was definitely a huge jump from the Zendaya we saw in the Disney Channel, nothing could have prepared us for her role in the Drake-produced series Euphoria. Articles hit the web questioning if this was finally Zendaya's turn to the dark side that would tarnish her perfectly kept image, but it literally did the exact opposite. Zendaya's fans have grown alongside her, and the actress felt it was time to move on to a more mature scene. She knew she wanted more after she had to return to Disney to finish Casey Undercover. When she read the script, she knew if she didn't accept the role, she'd be miserable. While she wasn't really sure how to embody a character who was involved with things like illegal substances, Zendaya got to know Sam, who actually had her on his mood board for her character Rue. Getting to know him and his story made her less nervous about taking on the challenging role. Now, she's nominated for her first Emmy because of it. Killing it! But Zendaya wants fans to know that she's still into the corny stuff too, and hopes that she's living in a world where she can take on both types of characters. Basically, the best of both worlds. Are we right? As of 2020, she's set to star in Season 2 of Euphoria, was recently added to the Oscars voting board, has been cast in Dune alongside fellow rising star Timothée Chalamet, and there are rumors swirling that she could be starring in a potential Kill Bill 3. As for her fashion career, she was recently featured on the cover of Vogue and released a fashion line in collaboration with Tommy Hilfiger. Maybe it was all luck that Zendaya was able to wiggle herself into so many different industries, or maybe it was because she always has a clear vision of what she wanted to achieve.
If you truly believe in something and you really have a passion for something, then go for it.
Either way, she's on track to literally be the Meryl Streep of Gen Z. Let us know what your favorite part of Zendaya's transformation was in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos on Queen Zendaya.